I have never told anyone what I am about to tell you. Not my children, not my closest friend, not the priest I confessed to for 40 years, not one single living soul. I am 86 years old, and I have been carrying this secret for 50 of them. My husband took it to his grave 10 years ago. He died holding my hand, whispering apologies into the quiet of that hospital room. And I held his hand back and said nothing, because that is what we had agreed to. 50 years ago, in the silence of our kitchen, on a rainy Tuesday night that changed everything, we made a pact, and I have kept it every single day until today. My name is Eleanor, and today I am confessing everything. Not because I want forgiveness. I stopped waiting for that long ago. But because I am 86 years old, and I have watched too many women carry their truth all the way to the grave, and I refuse to be one of them. So stay with me, because what I am about to tell you may be the most honest thing you hear all year. The year was 1974. I was 36 years old. From the outside, my life was everything a woman of that era was supposed to want. A beautiful home in Ohio, 2 healthy children sleeping peacefully down the hall, a husband named Arthur who was respected in our community, quiet and dignified, the kind of man other women pointed to when they talked about what a good husband looked like. We were the golden couple. That is what our neighbors called us. We were not golden. We were performing. Behind our closed doors, Arthur and I had become strangers. Not the angry kind, the worse kind, the quiet kind, the kind who pass each other in hallways and say nothing, who sit across dinner tables and hear nothing, who share a bed every night like 2 people waiting for a bus that stopped coming years ago. I had become a ghost in my own home. I cooked the meals. I laundered the shirts. I smoothed the bed sheets. I smiled at the neighbors, and I disappeared a little more every single day. And then one Tuesday evening, while Arthur was away in Chicago on business, my phone rang, a woman's voice, one I had never heard before, calm and deliberate, the way a person sounds when they have rehearsed what they are about to say. She told me where Arthur really was, and who he was with, and how long it had been going on. 3 years. He had been gone from me for 3 years before I even knew to look for him. I want to stop here for a moment, because I know what some of you are feeling right now. Maybe your chest has tightened. Maybe a face has come to mind, someone you trusted completely. Maybe you are thinking about your own quiet house and your own careful silences and the things you have chosen not to look at too directly. I see you. And what I am about to share, the 4 things 50 years of carrying this taught me, I want you to hear not as a cautionary tale, but as the truth I wish someone had spoken to me before that Tuesday phone call. The first lesson: protecting other people from your pain does not protect you. It buries you. When Arthur came home from Chicago, I did not scream. I did not pack his bags. I looked him dead in the eyes across our kitchen table, and I told him exactly what I knew. The terror on his face is something I will carry forever. We made a pact that night: stay together, raise the children, never speak of it, not to the children, not to family, not to anyone. The marriage would continue, the secret would die with us. And I told myself I was being strong, that I was protecting my children, that I was making the noble sacrifice. But here's what nobody tells you about noble sacrifices. They extract payment every single day. Every anniversary dinner my children threw for us, a dagger. Every toast to our enduring love, a wound. Every time my daughter looked at our marriage as a blueprint for her own, I had to smile and nod and hand her a map that led nowhere real. I was not protecting my children. I was protecting a beautiful lie, and the lie needed feeding every single day of my life for 50 years. If you are swallowing your truth right now to keep the peace for the people around you, please hear me. The boat may stay steady, but you will drown underneath it. The second lesson: a life built on silence is not a life. It is a very convincing performance. Arthur spent 50 years trying to make it right. He became the most attentive husband imaginable. Flowers, thoughtfulness, presents, everything I had ever wanted from him, delivered decades too late, out of guilt rather than love. And I accepted it, because what else was there to do? We built something functional, something that looked from every angle like a real marriage. We shared a home, raised children, celebrated grandchildren, grew old in the same chairs. But we never again touched souls. We traded intimacy for safety. And safety, after long enough, feels indistinguishable from a very beautiful cage. Do not settle for a cage simply because it is comfortable. An honest storm that breaks everything open is still better than a lifetime of false sunshine that quietly freezes your heart. The third lesson did not come to me until Arthur was already gone, and it is perhaps the most painful of all. When you hide your truth to protect the people you love, you also hide yourself, and they spend their entire lives loving someone who was never quite real. My children love me deeply and genuinely, but they love a version of me that never suffered, a mother who never had to make an impossible choice in a quiet kitchen on a rainy Tuesday night. They love the woman in the photograph. They love the fairy tale. They do not know the woman who lay awake for 50 years wondering who she might have been. When my daughter would come to me crying about her own marriage, asking how her father and I had stayed so strong for so long, I had to look her in the eyes and give her nothing real, generic words, empty comfort, because the truth that might have actually helped her was the one thing I could never say. The people who love you deserve to know you, not the version you have made safe for them. You, with your scars and your impossible choices and your decades of quiet grief, hiding yourself to protect them only guarantees that no one ever truly finds you. The fourth lesson is the one I most need you to hear, especially if you are sitting there thinking you still have time to figure it all out. I stood in my kitchen at 36 years old, and I made a decision out of fear. Fear of financial struggle, fear of what people would say, fear of what a broken home would cost my children, fear of the unknown that waited on the other side of the truth. And that fear wrote the next 50 years of my life. I sometimes sit at my window and watch the sunset, and I let myself wonder, if I had packed a bag that Tuesday night, if I had chosen the difficult, frightening, uncertain path instead of the safe and silent one, I might have struggled. I almost certainly would have. The 1,970 seconds were not kind to divorced women with no career and 2 small children. But I would have been free. I would have built something that was mine, something real, something that did not require me to perform contentment every single day until the performance became the only thing left. Fear is a convincing liar. It tells you that the known pain is safer than the unknown freedom. It tells you to wait, to be practical, to think of everyone else first. But let an 86-year-old woman tell you something about time. It does not wait. You think you have forever, to be honest. Forever to start living for yourself. Forever to make the brave choice you keep postponing. And then one morning you wake up and 50 years have passed and your hands are wrinkled and the man who broke your heart is 10 years in the ground and the children you sacrificed everything for are grown and gone and the secret is still sitting there in your chest, heavy as the day it arrived. Do not let fear write your story. It is not a good author, and it does not give you a second draft. My children will not hear this from me while I am still breathing. I have written them a letter. It is in the drawer of my bedside table. They will find it when I am gone, and they will finally meet the woman their mother actually was, a woman who loved them so fiercely she broke her own heart to keep theirs whole, a woman who made an impossible choice in a dark kitchen and carried it alone for half a century, a woman who was so much more than the smiling face at the anniversary dinner. I do not tell you this for pity. I have no use for pity at 86. I tell you so that you will make a different choice than I did, so that you will stop hiding, stop waiting, stop believing that your truth is something the people you love cannot survive. They are stronger than you think, and so are you. The sun is setting outside my window as I say this to you. Long golden shadows across the floorboards, the world rushing by outside, full of people chasing things that will not matter when they reach my age. Stop hiding your life. Start living it before the only honest thing you have left to give is a letter in a drawer. This is the last lesson. I am Eleanor, and I am grateful beyond words that you sat with me today. If something I have said has found its way into your chest and taken root there, please leave a word in the comments. I read every one. Share this with someone who is carrying something heavy and alone. And please subscribe. I will be here every week with the things that matter most. Take care of your heart. It deserves the truth.